I am modern, look at me, I'm pretty much wearing fancy clothes. I go to parties, I love my Gucci's and my Armani's. And of course, I am a spiritual life coach that very much looks at spiritual development of people, and hence I'm pretty much a monk at the same time. So I'm kind of balancing the two things. Have I confused you enough? Yes? Good, that's good. Then half of my job is done, if I have confused you enough. Well, I have been thinking about this a long time, and I say, do we have the courage to do what we really want to do? Do we have the courage to actually look like a different person in the room, and people looking at you with different rolling of your eyes and thinking, who is she? Or what is he? Have you ever gone through that? Yes or no? Yes, wonderful. Then let me tell you something. I've gone through this multiple times, and mostly every time I feel like this cute little green, purple, pink, orange elephant all the time in every room that I go to. I'm going to speak about two things today. The W and the M. Where I've come today, I have gone through the stages of being the big elephant in the room most of the times. Maybe the social norms, maybe the society, maybe the family, maybe my own friends. I've gone through this over and over and over and over again, and I'm sure you in your life have gone through the similar situations before. W and an M is where I have narrowed down to the maximum amount of time that I have been the cute little elephant in the room. It's work, the kind of work I do, and the big word, marriage. Whatever I've chosen in my life, and I understand it has been, the journey hasn't been easy. And the journey will never be easy if you want to be what you want to be. And at this stage of my life, I really feel humble, but pretty much unapologetic about the way I am. Because I've accepted the way it is. I've accepted the way I am, and I am absolutely, and I say with complete humbleness that I'm unapologetic about it. Let me start with the work aspect of my life. It's funny because I am, like I say, I'm a spiritual coach, right? But the funny bit here is, I'm a business psychologist, right? I'm a business psychologist, I'm a marketer, I'm a personality profiler, I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm a advertising expert from Mica, but all of that is okay until that is there. But the funny bit starts off when I say, I'm a spiritual life coach. Okay, so what do? I see colors of people, I can see colors over here, I can see more than what normal people see, I can hear more than what normal people can hear. I'm a mystic, I'm a psychic, I'm a healer, and then bas ho gaya. You know, let's not get into that conversation, please. It's not the bestest conversation to have. You feel a little jittered about it. And I have faced this multiple times in my life. A little background. I'm a Marwari woman. Then, to top that out, I'm 34 years of age. So I'm old according to them, not me, right? Secondly, I'm not skinny. Then of course my work got a lot of questions because I said I decided when I was very young, I was 11 years, and because I'm letting you know, because this is the background story of where I came from. I was 11 years old and I kind of realized there's something on with me. You know, there were things that was happening to me, and I could see different things, and I could hear different things, and suddenly I told my mom, can you see this shit? Don't stop saying things. And I go like, but I can, and that's when I realized I have a gift that normal people don't have. And normal, when I say, it is a gift that everyone has, but mine is just a little more fine-tuned, like that. And I realized that this is what I was born for, and if I'm born for that, then I might as well do that, right? Why do I waste my time doing something else than just do that? But of course, courage had to build up, and my mom, you know how moms are? My mom's a lawyer, so she's pretty much strong any which ways. So she refuses, she kind of objects everything I say in the first go. So when I was 16 years old, I was like, I want to learn hypnosis. I am a regression therapist, so I'm a healer and I do regressions. I do past life regressions, and I look into souls and karmas and life and soul patterns and journeys and all of that stuff. With, of course, being the business psychology and a marketer, let that be alone. But I was 17 years old and I told my mom I want to learn hypnosis and I want to learn regression and I want to understand where I came from and who I was, and I don't feel like I'm this person in this body. She's like, first of all, go have a shower. I'm like, no, seriously, I don't feel like I'm in this body. She's like, no, go have a shower. I said, Mom, really? But of course, because she was paying my bills and I was 16 and my dad was paying my bills, I couldn't really, go against them. So I said, chal, theek hai. But of course, I let that thing seep in. I knew deep inside my body, inside my heart, inside my soul that this is what I wanted to do. I let it be. So my point to you here is, when you actually feel that you know something inside your gut, that this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, even if people are telling you off, what do? I let time seep in. I had a lot of patience. I knew for a fact that this is what I wanted to continue doing for the rest of my life. So I let it be. Then, of course, I moved in and I became what I am. And work has always otherwise also been a little difficult for me. Because when I go around and I say somebody is different, I'm seeing like a purple color, are you alright? You look very purple. And this is what really made me famous, very famous, sometimes in a mostly in a negative way, and especially when it comes to my family. So people have that thing about her, oh, she does magic. No, I don't do magic. Oh, she reads mind. I have no other business to do. Why are you staring? I think you look cute. And why can't we leave it to that? But of course, people have a lot of notions about the kind of work I do, because of course it's highly misunderstood and understood kind of profession I chose. But of course I knew that this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do any which ways, you like it or not, because I might as well be the cute little elephant than being a small little deer around, although they are pretty too. But yeah, that was one. Second, of course, the big other word that in my life was the word M, marriage. And I've always been very vocal about marriage, saying that I don't think it's important. I don't think it's important. If you want to marry, you marry. You don't want to marry, don't marry. Right? Marriage is convenience according to me and love is love. So they are two different things. So you can choose what you want. You cannot tell somebody as to what you have to do for the social norms. Should I do something to fit in the social norms? Should I do something that you will be happy with me? Should I be okay? Are you going to take the responsibility of something that happens to me after I get married? Is anybody going to take the responsibility? No. It is much. And I have to take care of it. It's what I do, right? So I had to take that step of saying, maybe not. I mean, I was talking about the incident of my life, and it was really funny, and that has stuck to my head so strongly. I was again about 20-something years old, about a few years back, and my mom goes to me. I just came back from London, and she's like, "Go see this guy." I said, "All right." And then what? But tell him you're a business psychologist. I said, "All right." Tell him you're a profiler. I said, "All right." Don't tell him you have a spiritual streak. I said, "Why?" Because you make the men run away. I was like, "Why?" "No, they think you're weird anyway." I said, "Why?" "Because you speak, don't speak." I said, "Should I go like that?" Then they go like, "Don't look." I said, "Why? I can't look?" "No, like don't look like that." I said, "Like what?" There are a lot of non-verbal communication that we don't really do, but don't look like that. Don't tell him that what you do, because that kind of freaks him out. There's another incident that happened with marriage per se with me is, because I've been very straightforward, and I tell parents, let your children date, let them understand what life is, So, there was one incident I still remember, just a couple of years back, when I'd already decided I don't want to do this, It's not, like I said, not my cup of coffee. But yes, I'm very much unmarried, and I'm okay with the fact that it is the way it is, and I choose. And I'm taking the full responsibility of the choices that I'm making. And that's what I'm saying. So should I be the elephant in the room, Or should I be the hidden face? Or should I try to find the Mr. India watch that will make me invisible? What do I do? What do? You will have a situation in life that you feel an elephant in the room. You will feel that you want to do something, you want to say something, but you cannot say it. What do? Maybe love, marriage, sex. What else? Partner, choosing of a partner, choosing of education, choosing of a career. There are multiple things in your own life, maybe family and in-laws and sister-in-laws and a lot of other things. You want to say something, but be nice, of course. But at the same time, you want to say something so crisply, but you cannot. You cannot find the true essence of your being, and you cannot find the true self of that you feel inside. And what do? You give up? I personally believe you've got to wait. You've got to have the patience. Accept the way you are. People are not going to accept what is not normal. It does not fit into their category of understanding. Okay, if you tell people something that is upsetting their feelings, trust me, I have faced this. It feels like when I say what I say, and I say I do not like the concept of marriage, or even our mythology did not have the concept of marriage. So what are you trying to teach me about? Unless you give me a right reason for it. If you don't tell me, if my entire Indian mythology is based on spirituality, so I decided that I wanted to be the way I am. I've accepted the way I am. The choice is completely yours as to what you want to do. Do you want to be the elephant in the room? Well, it's better off to be one than not being. Trust me. Because only if you accepted, understood, had the courage, had faith, trusted, then can you have the luxury to be weird. And you know what, when you walk weird, they say she's weird. Not everyone can afford the luxury of being weird. So when I say this, please decide. The call is yours to take. What do you do with your streak of the elephant that you have in you is absolutely up to you. Thank you.